everyone, welcome to the channel, and today we will be talking about a physics lesson by Jesus, and that is his I am statement to the Pharisees, which are kind of like the churchy people, the ones making the rules based on, religion and things. So we want to kind of switch up what he was saying because it's really a physics statement. So if that interests you, please stay tuned, and that's what we'll be talking about on this next MISTA moment. Okay, y'all, so at some point in our lives, we've all heard the word Jesus. And I want to use that as an example of how we have belief systems. And beliefs are just something that we continue to believe or think until it becomes solid as a belief. And then most of the time we have to undo that thinking. It becomes unconscious a lot of times. And so when we say the word Jesus, we all have a belief of what Jesus is. And so what we really try to do on this channel is to help undo that, because I think where a lot of the breakdown is in going back to spirituality and God, so to speak, because that's really a weird word too with a lot of beliefs. We need to kind of undo what we've been taught by, the churches and people banging the Bible, because at the end of the day, it's a physics lesson, especially when it comes to the I am statement. So that's where we're going to start, with the I am statement. And then we're going to go through a lot of things that Jesus talked about on this channel to really undo what our first preconceived notion is, which is, religion. When we hear Jesus, it's religion. It's, fear-based, control, all of those things. And that couldn't be further from the truth, because if we really, really sat down and read the whole New Testament and read just the parts that were describing Jesus as a man and what he taught, we'd realize that he didn't want any part of that. First and foremost. So we're all going to a place that he totally didn't get down with to understand Jesus. So if you can understand that right there and shift that, he would have never told you to go to those church buildings and listen to a preacher man, which he would call a Pharisee, and learn his word, because there's zero benefit to that. I mean, the only benefit in church that I see, that I've experienced, is it's kind of like a positivity festival, and they pick out lines of the Bible to promote that positivity, get you feeling good, and then there's no real change. There's no real change. So, because everything that we're creating is based in our beliefs. And, Jesus was a proponent of that all the time. Whatever you believe is real, so you have to have faith in things unseen. Because then if you don't, and you're just trying to change your life based on your current beliefs, it's not going to change. So let's just start and make this really easy. Let's understand a little bit of physics in this, which would go into law of attraction and all kinds of things. But at the end of the day, it's really light, sound, make matter. I mean, this is physics. This is the Bible. I mean, they even talk about the 7 days, So let's talk about the statement he made. So the Pharisees, and remember, those are the people that, know every single word of the Bible, but don't understand what it means. And then they're teaching others what it means. And that's also the blind leading the blind, as he describes it. So the Pharisees came to him and they said, you proclaim yourself to be the king of the Jews. Who are you to Abraham? Because they were very into, and they still are, in religious things like the Israel wars and stuff. It's all about bloodlines, and if you're Jewish and all this, it's so crazy because it's physics, y'all. All of those, those concepts, those metaphors in the Bible, they're just describing different states of consciousness. Are you going to be in Egypt, which to me is the lowest, or are you going to be in Israel, and that's one of the highest? It has zero to do with the land, and, that's a very outer thing. And he's very clear. You got the outside all figured out, but your inside is just no. So, with that being said, so they were talking to him and they were like, if you're the king of the Jews, who are you to Abraham? And he said very clearly, before Abraham was, I am. And so this is our first physics lesson. It's very important. If you can grasp this part, you're well on your way to having, as he described in the Bible, the ears and the eyes to see what he is saying. So how the church describes this statement is so beyond me, because I don't even understand how they would, because it's completely physics and New Age and spirituality and metaphysics. And they teach, about the I am, Einstein, everybody. It's literally saying you can't, and that's the name of God, in my opinion. I am, not Allah, not Yahshua, not all of these things, because God is ineffable, meaning it's not anything. If the minute you conceptualize it, and this is how Einstein's theory of relativity is, the minute you perceive something, it's changed, because it's going through your perception, and that's the way it is to you, but somebody else can look at it and they're going to see it completely different. And so the way to describe God is before you say, I am Lynn, or I am abundant, or I am broke, or, everything we say, that's creating reality. And so what he is saying to them is, you are tripping. You talking about who am I to Abraham? Before Abraham was, I am. It's all coming from non-physical, and we are creating it based in our I am statements, which come from our beliefs. So you can see why the church is dead set on programming us to believe certain things. Because if we all realize that we can create our reality however the heck we want, we would pay much more attention to the I ams that we are unconsciously saying 24/7, that are creating the same spiral pattern of life. And that's what sin is. The word sin really means you missed the mark. You're not believing correctly. You're not thinking correctly. That is your sin. Your karma, as they talk about it in New Age. So the I am statement is the most important teaching, and it even goes back to the Old Testament. And I wonder how the Jewish people, view this. I believe that they probably are, because you can see a lot of Jewish people are very abundant, and I believe that they do understand the I am statement, and that's just not something that we're not all going to, Jewish temples and learning from them. So I can't say, but, Moses said, I am that I am. Yeah, he's saying, I'm the creator. I'm co-creating with God. God is I am, and I am that I am. So how is this going to help us today? How is this relative? What is this going to do for us? How, first and foremost, it's going to help you understand that, everything is physics. It's all, we are the creators of our reality by the way we have mental energy we're sending out. We have emotional energy. That's why, in all the Jesus Sacred Heart pictures, his heart and his head are illuminated, because there's energy coming out of all of our, energy systems in our body. And so we have to pay attention not only to the thoughts that we think, but the energy we exude as well. So that's why, most people give up on law of attraction, because they're going into it with that whole mantra and this whole shift in thinking, but they're not paying attention to the energy under it. So if you're, if you're sending out a low vibration, you're not using the fruit of the spirit. I mean, everything. I can't wait to get into all of this stuff, because you're really going to start to understand, but really understand that law of attraction is not going to work for you if you don't get in tune with your unconscious energy patterns and thoughts. And so I'm going to leave you with this information about the I am, so that you can really start here, video 1 of physics taught by Jesus, in understanding that. Start paying attention to the I am things you're saying during the day, and stop thinking that you're justified in thinking it like, I'm so mad. that energy is going to keep coming to you to make you mad, because that's what you're putting out there. I am so depressed. I'm so unhealthy. I'm all of these things. And it's literally like, okay, you are creating that. And so we have to just start paying attention to our I am statements and start uncovering them. Be completely self-aware. Big biblical teaching. You know, go within, the kingdom of heaven is within. It really means like, or though, if you know yourself, you'll know God. These are really serious. You have to know yourself. You have to know what you're thinking. 100% of the time, we are so focused out here that we're not realizing by saying I'm poor, I am broke, I am mad, I'm depressed, that you're bringing that energy from this matrix of a universe to you, and that's going to continue to show up in your reality. So the only thing that you should be paying attention to is not who fucking cut you off in traffic, excuse my language, but what are you thinking? Period. That's it. That's all you got to do, is really get in tune with that and start shifting every one of those thoughts. And then what happens is you start to shift your mental energy, you feel things going on in your emotional energy, and things start to purge, and, you know, your lower emotions start coming up to be, it's like an ongoing process of mental, emotional changing. So start with the I ams that you're saying in your head. I hope this lesson makes a whole lot of sense, because this is going to really be the basis of how you understand everything else that we do in this series of Physics with Jesus. So I hope that really makes sense. And if you like it, please like the video, subscribe, share it with a friend, and I'll see you next time.